Although I don't know if it's doing widescreen or it's doing the full-blown I think, and I forgot the scorecard. Be right back. Alrighty. Had to print a brand new one because we used up the one we had before. So I'm not sure if this thing is showing up widescreen or doing the whole 7.3. I'm assuming that the tops and bottoms is cut off. And make sure that things are working. And they kind of are. So I guess we're all set to go on Grant Street Candlepin's Labor Day Bowling. Let's just start, shall we? Gotta move this door out of the way. Let's get this show started. Halfway decent start. This is in the way. Out of the way we go. There we go. Also, it's been a very long time since we got a strike. Will it happen today? Alrighty. Frame 3. If we get a 10, it's a microwave turkey dinner. If we get a mark, that just means we get a higher score. Hopefully. Although, with how close the pins are, have to be a really bad shot. Anyway, frame 3. Oh, no microwave turkey dinner. Alrighty, that's an 8, obviously. Like this. There we go. I'll need to change that out anyway. Well, we're bound to leave something standing. Anyway, frame 4. How does that happen? You throw the ball 16 feet down the lane, hit your object, and you get penalized. How does that happen? Not bad for a spread eagle. And at every half and full game, I check the comments, unless I see something right then and there. Anyway, speaking of halftime, 5th frame. And a 10. Halftime. 10, 10, 8, 9, 10. No marks, but a 47. All right. Hello, Mark. Nice to find you live. Sinsaru Gaming, I think that's what it says. Yeah. I'm old and I still haven't budged on getting cheaters yet. Anyway, that's the first half. Let's do the second. Now you gotta wait for that wood to settle down. If we hit it, or it becomes part of it's anyway. If I hit it while it's moving, or it becomes part of the action, it's a foul ball. If it is still, I throw it and then it moves. That is, it was perfectly still, and then suddenly decides to move, not waiting for the end of a rock or something. Then that's the only time it's valid. It has to be still, then suddenly start moving. But anyway, third ball. I always distract myself on that. Never come up with stuff like that. The third one. Might have been a spare. I don't see the third ball. That's the beauty of just putting 3 up there. I threw up 2. If 3 are over there, then it was a spare. When I diverge and talk about what's going on, yes, that's actually a spare. Yeah, when I diverge off the track, that's when I tend, even in the beginning, I tend to lose my train of thought and forget what ball I'm on. But like I said, I got only 3 balls in the pin in the return. I threw down 2, 3 are there. Therefore, faulty memory has been corrected. That is a spare. And other places where they got, 5 or 6 balls in plus and it changes, then I just safely assume ball 3 if I lose count. El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? Well, that stunk. 4, 6. El Stinko stinks with a 4. So 47. Makes that a 61 total. Well, this isn't going to end well. Unless... Yeah, that didn't end well at all. Curse of the Fill. That spare meant nothing. Alrighty, so much for that. We got an achievement, the spare. Let's keep going. Nice 10. Frame 9. And went for the easy 2, got one of them. Don't know how well it shows up, but high single is 133, 119, 118, second, third. High triple happened last time. 3 relatively consistent games. Nothing super high, but they were consistent. 329, 321, 315, second and third. One more frame. It's getting harder to get those balls into the ball return because where the ball makes contact with the ramp, it's been denting in, so it's a much harder hill to climb. Anyway, final ball or frame for game 1. And yes, there is actually a lip there, because unlike 10 pin and even duck pin, candle pin, even on regulation lanes, the pin plate is roughly a 1/4 inch below the lane. And it is to prevent the wood from rolling up. Doesn't always happen that way. Which is why you can kind of see that line right there. That's the deadwood line. In case something actually overcomes that 1/4 inch gap and rolls by, which has happened, anything touching that or beyond it is no good and has to be removed. Anyway, third ball. Alrighty. Alrighty. That is the end of game number 1. Spare, but yeah. So what? Curse of the fill. Then 10, 8, 10, 94. Could have been a lot better. And Pepsi Power Studios. Hello to you. Alrighty, so that's the first game of 5. And after the 5th game, for those who've been, I'm just going to move this a little bit more. And for the final game, after the final game, the high-low mega jackpot. The 1-7-10, one ball. And if we can get it, TNC Bank and Trust will pay 50 cents. Not the 25 with the special colored head pin for strikes. And speaking of strikes, it's been well over a year since we got one here. Can we get one? It's been sitting at 3 for a long time now. Game number 2. Gonna be fancy and try to hit the wood that's up front. See what it does. Too far to the right. Not bad. Frame 2. That was interesting. Go right in the middle of the wood pile. That is not the middle. Frame 3. Who saw that being what would happen? And just like the last game, the third frame is where we leave something standing, except it's a 9 instead of 8. Fourth frame. Although the spare came much earlier. Alright, wrapping up the next halftime with El Stinko the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? Double pinochle. The only good thing is the 6 fill. Alrighty, so yeah, I had to correct some data that was on here. We'll go over that in a moment. Yeah, we'll go for the right because the wood's a little further out. Maybe it could hit the other piece of wood and take something else out. Or barely clip it and does nothing. At least a decent 9. No curse of the fill that time. Now it's time for the half. 10, 10, 9 instead of 10. And then it becomes different from game 1 there with a spare now. Lousy 6 fill for the leave, but managed to get 9 out of it anyway. 54. At least the double pinochle had wood on both sides. So it's like the pincers, yeah, that's the GF2 in action. And you've also watch me suck. That's good. Where I play on regulation alleys and suck more. Anyway, frame 6 and 16 feet and change is as long as I could make it because the house isn't very big. And right about here is there, apparently when they built the house was a giant boulder and they just built a little knee wall around it. So the idea was if that didn't exist, everything would be up against the wall. Probably could get 20 feet of lane, but whatever. Managed to get over 16 where it was pretty much not worth doing if I didn't figure how to shift everything around. It's slightly at an angle, such as you don't see it, but just barely to the right of the picture is literally where the support columns are for the house. So the back of the pit area is just at the halfway. And if you continue to straight line from the edge of that, well, I wouldn't say the edge of the pit, but yeah, the edge of the pit, because that literally goes to the very middle. The edge of the pit happens to line up with this part here. And the gutter is like where I stand, it's about 4.5 feet from center. So from the back of the room to the where I stand to throw the ball, it's shifted 4.5 feet to the left to try to squeeze out a little extra distance to make it a viable distance. Alrighty, enough yappity yap. Probably getting cold, so let's warm up again. Frame 6. Okay, it's moving. Now see how that stayed still, then it suddenly moved? If I threw the ball when it was just laying there and then it moved like it did, the throw would count. If it's moving when I throw, it won't. Alright, we'll take 9 from that. Because you're supposed to wait for all the wood to stop moving before you throw. Frame 7. Let's see something here. Eight is great. Frame 8. This is looking so far better than the game 1. Two marks. That definitely should make it better. All right, frame 9, starring El Stinko, the bonus ball. What will this bonus be? Spread eagle with prey in one of its wings. That's a horrendous 3. I do the Dennis Nuzzle thing. Less into more. Because the pins could go into the other set and start a chain reaction. Or do nothing. And Curse of the Fill. Lousy 7. Well, it's still better than first game. Oh, that was beautiful. Final frame. Alrighty. That's the end of that. Set up and show you the final results. Alrighty. Let me just... Game number 2. 998. Oh, wait. Yeah, 98. Spare the spread eagle with prey in its talon, which led to a lousy 7, then a 10. $1. I forgot to show you. I keep forgetting to change that. I mean, I'm not going to print new ones every time that changes, but I forgot to change that. The low was what I was showing you there. Low single of 81 has been shot here. So it is the world's toughest high-scoring Candlepin alley. Isn't that something? Alexander the Great. 9 is fine. Oh, you should have worn it for. I think you blame the. Oh, yeah, the pin setter kind of sucks. Even though it actually is a little more accurate than how the Bullmore does it. In the Bullmore, it's roughly about a 1/4 inch, give or take. Not so here. Anyway, we're at the mid game, 3 of 5, and after the 5th game, it's the high-low mega jackpot. If I can get the 1, 7, 10, and 1 ball, which has happened, came ridiculously close 3 other times, and the rest is either, and the rest of them were 1 or 2 pins, with the exception of one, which was a total whiff. So that's something to look forward to. If we can make the high-low mega jackpot after the 5th game, 50 cents from TNC Bank and Trust. And with that being said, let's get the middle game started. All right, that shouldn't be... Okay, it stopped anyway. Frame number 2. Yeah, so close to ending that year-plus long drought of a strike. Not that many were thrown, as you can see. But we got a spare, meaning we have El Stingo the bonus ball. What will the bonus be? Eight is great. And if we have a super strong game, we could probably put a new triple up there. Alright, there's 2 ways to go about it. The hard way is getting by the wood and hitting the pins directly. So I'm going to move a little more to the left, and there we go. 2 in a row. Now if I can get a 3rd mark in a row, unlike the other bowling, 3 marks in a row and Candlepin is a turkey. Anyway, attempting the turkey with another I'll stinkle the bonus ball. Well, that's not going to happen. Well, if that wood on the right just settles in a decent location, there is a very outside chance another 8 fell. No. No turkey dinner. And I'll jinx it now, but so far, perfect game. Unlike the other bowling, that's ducks and of course 10 pin, in Candlepin, a perfect game is every pin down in every frame, regardless of how many balls it takes. All right, frame 4. I think we're looking at a strong finish, or as I like to say, well, you know, I won't say it right now. Frame 5. Another El Stinko the bonus ball. Let's go again. Well, there goes perfection. 4, 6, so that's a 4. has to stop. There. And there goes the perfect game. And halftime of the midpoint. Spare. Spare again. First ball knocked down 8. Then a 10. Which, the first ball knocked down 8. Spare. 9. First ball only knocked down 4. We're at 69. A good effort. Almost good. Did you have to fight with YouTube? Not this time. For some reason, always the initial one, no matter what I do, and even when I know for a fact I set it to horizontal, it refuses to go horizontal. So I just close YouTube, bring it back up, ask to go live. Then it realizes I tried to start a stream. It asks me to resume if I want. And I say yes. And then it's actually going the right way, although it points towards the selfie camera first. But it's the right way, although it's taking up the full screen on the phone again, so I believe the top and bottom are cut off on my end. So you're probably seeing more of the lane than I am. And pointless ceiling on the top half. Or it might actually, for some silly reason, actually do the 7-3 thing and be the slightly extra wide. I don't know. I just make the assumption the top and bottom are cut off and frame it that way. And with that being said, let's get the second half of this game going. It's probably not going to be anywhere good as the first half. And the gyroscopes keep pin 7 standing. For all these years, I thought the pins at Mason's had magnets in them. The only metal that's in the pin plate are the screws holding everything down. I've looked at them, there's gyroscopes in them. Yes, the pins and balls came from Mason's. Now that being said, ball 2. How many ways can it almost be a spare? Frame 7. It may be possible we could get a second or third place triple. Than that. In this case, we do more into less. And there we go. Alrighty. Might be updating the triple board. El Stinko the bonus ball. What will this one be? Oh, a little less ugly. Gyroscope's keeping that one up. 7 feels good, but El Stinko stinks for the leave. That went wrong. All right, 2 frames where things were left standing. Yeah, it's quite possible the third place triple may change. All right. Well, 2 frames to go for the mid game. All right, so we left 3 pins standing the whole time so far. My fingers are getting dirty. Anyway, last frame. All right, let's see here. All right, I'll set it up and get it going. Oh, the singles are also moving up. Anyway, 10, spare, 9, first ball knocks 7, then 9 and 10, 124, new third place triple of 319. So, yeah, we got stuff to do. In fact, I'll bring you along. It'll be much easier to do it this way with the tripod extended. So 319 there and a 124. And Speaking of 19s, there we go. Alrighty, back you go. Something like that. I'm trying to get it close to where it was. Thank you, Alexander. And Nico, if I forgot to say hello, hello. I usually try to be good with that. Okay, game number 4 or 5. Of course, the high-low mega jackpot after the final game. The 1, 7, and 10, one ball. We've done it before. 50 cents if we can get it. But right now, we're just trying to get a strike, which we haven't gotten over a year. And 70 plus games thrown, and only 3 of them have a strike. Anyway, game 4. Just trying to slightly cap the wood to one side. Needless to say, I didn't hit it. That was a thing. Starting with 7. Candlepin bowling, the wood giveth, the wood taketh away. Frame 2. We'll go for the easy one. The one that's fat with a piece of wood on it. And that's no good. It was in the gutter. And speaking the gutter, that's where we're at right now. weight these suckers down. A little bit better. All right, frame 3. That's helping. And a 10 will help. And a 9er. Went for the easy 2 there. And an 8. Well, beginning kind of stunk it up. Pair of sevens. Then a 10, 9, and 8. 41, we can improve. We're flirting with now the low single, which is 81. All right, let's see if we can get a mark. Well, the answer is no. And a low Z6. Is that the worst we've done? Yes, it is. I think a new low single might be coming. The one I tapped still on spot, so good. Frame 7. And this is how it's going to be. Ten helps. Frame 8. Still, it looks like it is. Two tens in a row. All right, frame 9. Even close up, that sucks. Although the piece of wood against the 8, maybe it'll help with the one that's rolling slightly. Let's see what happens. Aim for the target, that might help. And 9 it'll be. All right, a 5 will tie the low single, which here in Grant Street is an 81. So at least we're not there. You're gonna have to try to hit the wood on the far right there. And that is why. And for some reason, it actually worked. The only thing that stinks about it getting a mark on the last frame, I gotta go back and set them up again. Hell, stink of the bonus ball. If you're gonna go back there, might as well set a bunch of them up. Or better yet, get the 4th ever strike thrown here. SKRUD. Niner. SKRUD. Lousy 6. The worst we've done so far. 10, 10, 9. Spare. The gyroscopes kept strike number 4 from happening. But a 95. So the strike streak, well, I shouldn't say strike streak. The total number, never mind a streak. Clean these up one more time. My fingers, although this thing ain't holding up too well. The last piece of paper towel that was still here when I bought the house. All right, final game. And then after the final game is the high-low mega jackpot. 1 ball. 1-7-10. If we can get a strike, TNC Bank will pay me 50 cents. Strike list streak. Well, this is not a regulated lane, so in terms of as a whole, it doesn't count. But a strikeless streak here, yes, definitely. It's been about a year. Granted, I pretty much play this during holidays, so. And it made it a tradition that it's where we start for the new year. Originally, it was because I wasn't making enough money to actually bowl. But my wage finally got high enough that an 8-hour day I can make it work without sacrificing anything else. Anyway, last game, ball 1, frame 1. Yep. Wood giveth, but the wood can taketh away. Frame 2. Well, I wanted to hit that wood on the far right. Hopefully the ball would have done something. Another niner. Frame 3. And there's the improvement. Frame number 4. Might have to whip this one. Not that I could really whip it. And another 9. Fifth frame. Did not see that one coming. All right, halftime. 9, 9, 10, 9, and a spare. So far, we're at 47 with El Stinko, the bonus ball. There we go. Oh, the 7 feels pretty good. Makes the half a 54. If we hit that wood on the far right, we could probably spare this. Did not hit it on the far right. Nine. Frame 7. Don't forget at the end of the game, the high-low mega jackpot shot. Yeah. Candlepin bowling. Kingpin remains for 9. frame 8. Best we can do is 8. And 8 it shall be. Frame 9. And then the high-low mega jackpot. Last frame before the bonus round, starring El Stinko the bonus ball. Let's see what we get. Can't hit the broadside of a barn. 4, 6, a lousy 4. So yeah, we had a few decent fills. And 9 be fine. Alrighty. Before we set up for the high-low mega jackpot, 998. Spare lousy 4 fill, $9.03. So 94, which was the low, 101. 124, that is the second highest single thrown here. 95 and a 103. And 319, the third highest triple thrown here. And now it's time for the setup. Will 50 cents be won today? Let's find out. And now it's time for the TNC Bank and Trust High-Low Mega Jackpot. One ball. The 1, 7, 10. If we can knock them all down in the one ball, TNC Bank and Trust will pay 50 cents. Can we do it? 3 times we came ridiculously close. 1 time we actually did it. 1 time completely whiffed. And the other times we took out 1 or 2 of them without getting really close. Anyway, without further ado, can we do it? And that's the second time we've ever whiffed it. All right, for the heck of it, let's just see if we knock anything down. What might have possibly happened, it might not have happened anyway. We were bound for another complete shot and miss anyway. Only one, especially for me, is pretty kind of hard to believe, just that few. So we'll end showing you that the single, we got a 124, which is second best, and the triple, the third best, 319. Getting great with your spares. Well, when the pins are so much closer. Also for 20, what about the first third of the year? Just Candlepin second. Well, that won't work. Because duck pins, it all depends on work. If there's overtime at a certain period, we go. And it hasn't been favorable for quite a while, even though the overtime was good. So, yeah. Oh, wow, they kind of fixed this. All right, how about now it won't let me zoom down. There we go. Kind of. Happy Labor Day, thank you. Base brings me back to the old COVID lanes. And I could not believe somebody actually asked me seriously, why lane number 19? Alrighty, so I mean, that will be it. Although I didn't see everything you wrote. Getting good your spares. Happy live, thank you. Basement bullet break. Yeah, we try to keep it Candlepin. That's what's big around here. Although dying off. You see, smash some new high scores. Getting great. Love your set. Like you'd like. Well, if you've got money and a full half of the basement that's completely devoid of anything, you can build one yourself like I did. Thank you for anything. But this one's a. And you would be right, Chris Allen. Hello. Because, yeah, we did the live stream. And usually, if do the live stream, it's from where Watch Me Suck was shot at. I love the duckies there. All right. So, yeah, I gotta. This is as they say, a school night. So, yeah, gotta call it good for now. Glad you all enjoyed. This is George F551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.